Hello everyone. In the last video, we have discussed about syllabus regarding to the post of computer teacher ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಓವರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. In this class, I'm going to discuss about those concepts related to specific paper. Here, first we need to understand the definition of a computer. Here, computer is an electronic programmable device that accepts data from the user through the input devices and process those data according to the set of instructions and store those processed data, or that will display those data into the user through the output devices. Here, a computer system first accepts the data from the user through the input devices, for example, keyboard or mouse or a scanner. And once that machine is retrieve the data from the user, it will process based on your instructions and provide the result into that particular user. To produce those results, again system will utilize output devices, for example, printer, monitor, or a speaker. Here, through those devices, directly it will provide the result into the user. Means first system read the data and process the data, then produce the informations. Here, data means raw material before going to process. Then information means these are the processed data. For example, if you are having the one mathematical statement, C is equals to A plus B. Here, currently A having the data 10, B having data 20. Here A and B are considered as a data. In between those A and B, we are having one operator. That's one instruction. We need to perform the addition. Once that operation is performed, it will produce the one result. That result is nothing but information. Here, this one is a computer definition. Here, based on that user input data, internally it will perform the some operations. To produce that result, computer system will perform some operations internally based on this particular architecture. Here, this one is the block diagram of the computer or architecture of the computer. Here, the computer system will read the data through the input devices, and those data will be passed into the CPU. So the middle part is considered as a CPU, and within that CPU, we are having the some blocks here. Currently, we are having the three blocks. One is the control unit, another one is the arithmetic logical unit. This one is a ALU. We are having the one more unit that is considered as a memory unit. Under the memory unit, we are having the again two types. One is the primary memory and one more is the secondary memory. Suppose once you provide the mathematical statement C is equals to A plus B, there is a mathematical operation. That operation will be performed within the ALU. As a calculation part will be handled, or any logic related to mathematical operations or logical operators will be implemented within the ALU. That's arithmetic logic unit. And once that operation is performed, that data will be stored within the some memory location. In the memory location, we are having the two types. One is the primary memory location, another one is the secondary memory location. Primary memory means these are the temporary in nature. When the system is off, means when your system will be off, then automatically those data will be erased from the system. These are considered as a primary memory. These are the temporary. And second one is secondary memory here. Secondary memory are considered as the permanent memory here. Once you store the data within these memories, that data will be stored until you delete that particular elements. Those are the data. Means these are the permanent data here. Here, for the primary memory examples, RAM and ROM, random access memory and read-only memory. And secondary memory, for example, CD, pen drive, or a memory card, or a hard disk. These are the examples for the secondary storage devices. These are related to secondary memory. Suppose if you want to display the result into the user, in that position, directly that CPU will transfer your information into the output devices. Directly those data will be displayed into the user. Here, currently we are having the input unit, output unit, memory unit, and arithmetic and logical unit. All these units will be handled by the one unit that is considered as a control unit here. Means a computer block having the multiple units. All those units will be controlled by the one unit that is considered as a control unit here. Here, this one is the architecture of the computer. And next one is a very important topic that is related to generations of a computer. Here, in the computer era, currently we are having the only 5 generations. Here, that first generation will start in the year of 1942 and ends with 1959. And in this generation, to build those computer systems, they are used some components. Those are the hardware components. Here, those are the vacuum tubes. And in the first generation, they are introduced some technologies. Those are the machine language, and they are developed some computer systems. Those are the ENIAC, UNIVAC, ADVAC, EDSAC, IBM 701. These machines were developed in the first generations of computer. And these computer systems are in larger size and highly expensive. And those systems where consumption of electricity is high related to first generations of computer. The second generations of computer will starts with 1959 to 1965. In this generation, they are used some hardware components. Those are the transistors or magnetic tapes. And in the second generations of computer, they are developed some again technologies or some programming languages. They are introduced batch processing, multi-programming operating system, and Fortran and COBOL languages are introduced in the second generations of computer. And comparatively, first generations of computer, second generation is having the lesser size and less expensive compared to the previous generation. And in the second generation, they are introduced some machines IBM 7094, CDC 1604, Atlas CR 304, Honeywell 400. These machines are introduced in the second generations of computer. And in the third generation starts with the 1966 to 1975. In the third generation, they are used again some hardware components, build those machines, integrated circuits. In the third generations of computer, again they are developed some programming languages, Pascal, PL bar I, Basic, Algol 68. Here, these programming languages are introduced in the third generations. And remote processing, time sharing, multi programming operating systems are introduced in the third generations. And in the third generation of computer, they are developed again some systems IBM 360 or 370, PDP 8, CDC 6600. And in the fourth generation, they are used again some hardware components, VLSI microprocessor circuits. Those are the very large scale integration microprocessor circuits. In the fourth generation, again, they are developed some programming languages, C language, C++, DBase, GUI operating system, and these machines are compared to the previous generations of computer faster and compact, time sharing, real time networks, distributed systems, and GUI operating systems. Those are the graphical user interface operating systems are introduced in the fourth generations of computer. And in the fourth generations of computer, they are developed some machines, TEC 10, star 1000, KREIS means first and second, Apple second, Wax 9000. These machines are developed in the fourth generations of computer. And we're having the last generation, as a fifth generations of computer, starts with 1988 till to the date. In these machines, they are used hardware components, ultra large scale integration microprocessor circuits. And in the fifth generations, they are developed some programming languages, Java language, .NET, advanced concepts related to C and C++, and we are having some latest technologies. Those are the emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics. Here, these technologies are developed in the present era. And in this particular generations, they are developed IBM Pentium Forum Param. Here, these machines are developed in the present era, that's a present generation. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಯಿತು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆನ್ಪಿಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆನ್ಪಿಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತ. ಅಂಡ್ we need to understand the expansion of these machines. ENIAC, UNIVAC, EDVAC, EDSAC. IBM. ಏನೊಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. A computer system, they are having some names, but internally those are having some expansion. We need to understand those expansions. Here IBM ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿ, IBM International Business Machine. Here expansion of the IBM International Business Machine. And UNIVAC means Universal Automatic Computer. Universal Automatic Computer. And next one is ENIAC. ENIAC means Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. And one more is considered as a EDSAC. Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. Means we need to understand those expansions also. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಇರೋದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಯರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ these things within the computer generations. And next one is here, these are the types of computers. It's again very important topic here, types of computers. Here computers can be classified in two ways. We are having the two categories here. First one is on the basis of size, and second one is on the basis of data handling. Here on the basis of size, we are having some computer systems. These are the supercomputer, mainframe computer, mini computer, workstation, and PC. PC means those are the personal computers. Here, supercomputers are very large and powerful computers used for the complex calculations. For example, Param, Siddhi, Pukhaku, these are the supercomputers. And mainframe computers are again very large, high storage capacity. You can store any number of data within these computer systems. These are having the huge storage capacity and supports many users at the same time. Means multiple user can access these machines at the same time. And these machines are used in the banking sector, railways, airlines. Here, these are the fields utilized mainframe computers. Next one is the mini computer. These are compared to supercomputer and mainframe computer. These are having the smaller size. These are the medium sized computers. Again, these computers will support to the multiple users used in small and medium organizations. And the next one is a workstation. High performance single user computer. It will not support to the multi-user computer. These are single user computers used for engineering, graphics, CAD CAM, scientific work. The specific work can be implemented within these particular systems. And next one is a personal computers, smaller size and inexpensive, used by the single user. For example, desktop and laptop. These computers are divided based on the size. And second one is on the basis of data handling. Means into these machines we are providing the some data. Based on that data, we are having these types here. One is the analog computer, another one is the digital computer, and last one is the hybrid computer. Analog computers means These computers works with continuous data, gives approximate result, not exact result, it's an approximate results here. For example, speedometer, thermometer, these are the examples for the analog computer. And second one is the digital computer, works with the discrete data. These are the numbers 0 and 1. And these machine will give the accurate result. Analog computers will provide the approximate result, but digital computers will provide the accurate results here. For example, desktop, laptop, smartphone, and calculator. These are the example for the digital computers. And last one is the hybrid computers. These machines works with both the continuous and discrete data. Here, these machines can be used in the hospitals, weather forecasting, aircraft systems. Means we can implement both the types of the data here, maybe continuous data or discrete data. Both the data can handled by the hybrid computer systems. Clearly, we have the only two types on the basis of size and on the basis of data handling. These are related to types of computer. In the next class, again, I'm going to discuss basics related to computer fundamentals. Keep watching. Thank you.